Doing what I don't want to do. This is going to be a very long post. None of you need to read it, but my therapist recommended I get everything out in a timeline style manner, and what better place? Month when you tell me about the affair. I'm crushed. In disbelief. My wonderful, amazing wife, mother of my child, another on the way, would not do this to me. I feel disconnected from reality, you say. I want to be with you and work on things. I can't imagine being without you. Of course I forgive you. I want to work through things too. Less than a week after you tell me, I'll wake up and you're gone. You've gone to visit him. You need closure. I am at a loss but continue to push forward with marriage counseling. Month 2 by this point, you've reached out to him 4 times to my knowledge. I don't understand it. You wanted to work on things. It's all too much to handle emotionally. I broke you, and I can't fix you. It's just too hard on me, you'd say. I swallow my hurt and try to take care of you. You're pregnant, we had lost a baby to miscarriage, my wife needs help. We spend the days together going places with our daughter every day. Anytime I talk about my emotions, I'm having a hard time today. I'm really struggling with the thought of XYZ. You push me away, run away, I wake up to notes from you being gone. Month 3 I continue to find you talking to him. This man that's apparently more lovable than me. 10 years your senior, father to a half-dozen kids from several different women, a man that threatened me and your children if I ever told his longtime girlfriend about the affair. Apparently he's just hard to let go of. I try to talk to you about the hurt. You tell me if I do, you'll hurt me worse. My only regret is that I didn't get to have time with him more. Our daughter is born into this mess. Month 4 I wake up to you gone. I check your location. His workplace. Asked you about it. I just needed to do on a drive. I check your phone, I'm sorry we couldn't do more. I miss your taste. I ask you to leave. Go stay at your mom's. You freak out. Tell me you don't love me. You never loved me. I try to stay away from you as much as I can. I'm worried for your mental health. We're sharing the kids. You tell me you're going to give me a chance to date you. This can't be real. My high school sweetheart, my best friend, this can't be real. Our separation seems to be working, you seem to start missing me. You ask me to come over for Thanksgiving. I do. You're still talking to him. I have to beg you to stop texting him in front of me. Month 5 I go no contact. It seems to cause you to spiral. You want to work on things. Let's give it a go. I haven't been right in the head. I'm so desperate to be with the woman I love and believe that none of this is real, I agree. You moved back home 2 weeks before Christmas. We have a wonderful couple weeks. You don't want to go to marriage counseling anymore, but things seem to be going all right. Day after Christmas, I see that you've installed the Xbox Live app on your phone. You're messaging him on there now since we changed your number. I ask you about it while you're in the shower. You lose it again. I go cry upstairs where you can't hear. I decide to take a shower. I hear my daughters crying hysterically. I come downstairs and you're gone. I managed to get a hold of you after 8 hours of being gone. You're not coming home for a while. You're gonna cold turkey your antidepressants. You don't want to live anymore. I call the police. You end up on the missing persons list. I spent 2 days morning till night looking for you. You turned yourself into the hospital. Month 6 you spent 10 days at the mental health facility. 10 days I'm talking to you on the phone. Taking care of our daughters. Bringing our girls to sit in the parking lot outside the facility so that we can be on the phone and you can see them, even if from afar. Hopefully my wife gets the help she needs in there. Everything is gonna be okay. You come out of the facility and come home. You've made a bunch of unhealthy friendships in the facility. You're texting and calling people throughout the day that you met in there, but I let it be. You're out 2 weeks, and I come home from work long after you've gone to bed to find that you left your phone with the Xbox app open, a conversation between you and him again. You miss him. You have clothes that smell like him that have slowly lost the scent, and that makes you sad. I'm so numb. I ask you to leave again. Month 7 separation number 2. I want to work on this, but if you ever talk to him again, this is over, I say. Let the separation begin. Less than a week into the separation, you're over at his workplace. The library. You're visiting the library with your new friend T from the mental health facility. I call you to ask what the deal is. You freak out at me. I'm not talking to the guy. How could you make such a big deal about this? I let it be. You come over on your birthday because I called you crying. I said this was hard and I didn't know if I could take it anymore. I need it to end. You come over with divorce papers telling me you always rush things, trying to force me to make a decision right away. I cry and say, why are you doing this? I still don't believe any of this is happening. You mock me, tell me if you don't stop crying I'm going to hit you in the ducking face. You're a woman and I can't imagine what people would do to me if I said anything like that to you. But when you say it, you're just going through a rough time. Month 8 I've been taking care of myself to the best of my ability. We're sharing the girls. You get half the week than I do. It's hard. I love my daughters so much and I hate being apart from them. We've been apart a full month, nearing 2 by the end of March, and you haven't been talking to him. You want to work on our marriage. I request that we move to a new city on the other side of the metro area to get away from all the painful reminders and to have a fresh start. You agree, and so we find a wonderful little house together to rent. Plus, you're pregnant. There's no way it isn't yours. Why would you even doubt that? Month 9 moving day. Your brother causally tells me as we're moving, she never stopped talking to him. I blocked him on her Xbox Live. He keeps asking her to leave him alone, but she keeps sending him messages. I don't feel anything. Maybe he's lying? We're in our fresh start house less than a week. Our daughter is sick and we're up taking care of her. I ask what time it is. You show me your phone. Xbox Live notification at 3 a.m. I don't care. This isn't real. I set my alarms for the morning. You see me on my phone and take it from me. I don't like you talking to people every time I make a mistake. I was just setting an alarm. 2 more weeks pass. I'm just trying to avoid you. You work days. I work nights. This isn't real life. We're putting the girls to bed. You look all dressed up to go out somewhere. You going somewhere tonight? I need to get out of the house. You say. I guess I made the wrong face because you stormed out. I find you in the bathroom and ask if you're okay. You tell me you feel trapped, and I tell you I can relate. I explain that it sucks being cheated on, then having to take care of you, not getting to have my own hurt or emotions, chastised every time I feel something. You lunge from the bathroom, begin hitting me over and over. I fall on the bed. You turn off the lights and hit me more. I call the police. You go to jail. Your family calls me you ducking idiot. What did you do? What did you say to her to make her hit you? Now what genius? She's in jail and it's your fault. I just cry. Eventually though, I lay it all out and yell back. Of course my mother-in-law doesn't mention all the awful stuff she said to me. She just tells everyone I yelled at her. My wife is out of jail now. Trial is next month. I still believe you have some sort of mental health problem. That's the only way this past year has made sense compared to the last decade. I found her crying in the closet. I asked what was wrong. You never apologized for calling the police on me. I'm shocked. She doesn't care about me one bit. She's cheated on me, verbally and emotionally abused me for nearly a year, now physically abused me, and she's crying not because she can't believe what she's done to me, but because I haven't apologized for sending her to jail. I talked to an attorney a little over a month ago. They want me to take everything you have you pay me alimony, child support, etc. I don't want any of that. I just want this to be over. I love my wife, or who I thought she was. I want to do everything I can to take care of my little girls. But I can't keep letting this go on. She doesn't care about me one bit. She's told me a million times she doesn't love me. She doesn't even bother to pretend to say it anymore. I'm a big tattooed man being destroyed by a tiny woman. The only thing I ever wanted in life, my wife, my family, you know it's all I want, and you hold it hostage over me. I don't want a divorce, but you've never apologized, never stopped cheating, gaslight, blame shifted, never once actually cared. Save me. I'm in hell. Edit post is up for 5 minutes and I'm already getting downvoted to hell. I know you probably all think I'm spineless. Probably right. It's hard accepting that the woman you've been madly in love with for a decade is a monster. Cut me some slack. Didn't think on a support group subreddit I'd so quickly get S'd on for be open about being torn apart by someone you want to trust. Edit 2. I've read through as many of the replies as I can. I'm gonna try to get back to a lot of you and I appreciate the PMs of support as well. Last night I sat down with her and went over the divorce papers and started filling them all out. I'm sticking to it, and if she won't do it amicably, which I'm sure she won't, then I'm going to resume activity on the lawyer. I know a lot will say just go to the lawyer now. But honestly I'm broke and the $3,500 for retainer alone is somewhat out of my budget. My wife is a shopping addict and we spent $10,000 throughout COVID on marriage counseling. Not to mention my work has been impacted heavily due to COVID. Update, truly the end of the road. Today I guess was the final day. My daughter wanted to play on mommy's tablet before nap. I get her set up with a coloring app. Leave her alone with the device for I guess too long because she started opening other applications on the tablet. Usually she does it when she's bored of whatever she's playing and looks for other games. I go to close out the email app, but before I get the chance, I see a PayPal notification. Curiosity I guess. I opened it and it showed a payment to her AP. She sent 2 payments totaling $165. She's at work. I asked her about it over the phone because we had talked earlier and she knew I was irritated but I hadn't explained why. She says I sent him money because he got sent to jail over a fight between him and his SO. They were fighting over our my WS and AP's relationship and I felt responsible. I guess the money was for bail? After she said that, she sent me a series of texts saying, "Nope. I told you my main reason for trying to sign the papers yesterday that I wasn't going to allow me hurting you to continue. It's been one single day since then and it's happened again. I have a list of 4 or 5 apartments close to work that are 1 bedroom. I'll move out once the papers are turned in so you can have the house and sleep in your bed again. I don't care who gets the chairs or the bookshelf. You chose what you want more. I'll fill out the financial papers when I get home after I leave work at 4. For the record, since you say you're always unsure where we leave off. No marriage counseling, just plain divorce. I'd still appreciate being able to work tomorrow if you'll allow it. And just to clarify again, when I said nope I was not saying that the communication between me and AP is ongoing. The affair has been over. And now so is the marriage. I will be alone. Do not worry that your kids will have a new stepdad. I will be alone. I guess maybe I'll post an update once the paperwork is submitted and then once again 91 days later. Presently I'm sad, but more than anything numb. I love my wife. I worked as hard I could for 9 months on our marriage. I was always holding out hope that there was going to be some sort of come to Jesus moment where she realized and took accountability for her actions. Thank you for your support. I hope that those of you that read this and are working on reconciliation with your spouse is the absolutely best in your journey. I know there's a lot of hurt and at times negativity or maybe just realism posted on this sub, but don't let it discourage you from working on your marriage if you have a spouse that genuinely recognizes and is taking accountability for their actions. The best to all of you. Edit, forgot she had written a hate email that I'm sure was directed at me. I did not read it, but she obviously knew I was in her email. It started "fuck you and everything you stand for. If you were in front of me on your knees." And that's as far as the email preview showed because I'm not clicking on or reading that essay. I wish my wife loved me, man. Edit 2, there is some justice in the world. AP got arrested because him and his wife were fighting over the affair, but he also had 2 outstanding warrants in other states. A buddy from my church is a correctional officer and ended up running his info a long time ago at the beginning of this. Looks like somebody forgot to register as a S-time offender. Update, an update to my update. The trilogy? Today was hard. I know a lot of you PM me telling me I need to grow a backbone or whatever. Regarding that, yes, it is hard. I made a vow to a woman I love to spend my life with her and I have, at this point, explored every option before I end my marriage. With that said, I woke up today and took the divorce papers that we both filled out 2 days ago to the courthouse. She was there when I arrived. I talked to her in the car. I don't want to get divorced. I want to work on our marriage. I don't like being touched by you and have a hard time being around you. But I don't want our marriage to end. Her words summarized. I told her that if she had come there to stop me, telling me doesn't like being around me and so on is a sorry way of doing it. She said I came down here to stop you, but before I cut her off and said you came down here to stop me, but now it's too late, right? You would've, but now you won't. And then proceeded to go into the court building only to find out I was at the wrong one. New city, recent move equals confusion. An hour later I'm at the right building. She's there again. This time she's in my truck crying and telling me she's sorry and wants to work on our marriage. I tell her that I need to say a few things and then I'll hear what she has to say. I talk about how she claims she's been working on things, but clearly hasn't, since only managing to go a week, 2 weeks, without talking to the AP isn't working on things. If she wanted to save our marriage, she'll actually commit to change because her actions don't match her words. She cuts me off a number of times and says in tears she's sorry to cut me off, but if I don't, you'll talk forever, and you talking about all the bad stuff that has happened just feels like condemning me. I express that both my words and my actions over the last 9 months have been clearly the words and actions of forgiveness, just hoping to restore our marriage. I start laying down my boundaries. She's mad. She says our marriage won't work if we have all these rules. I tell her these aren't rules, these are boundaries, and without them, any hope of recovery isn't going to work. I explain, my boundaries are simple, and there's only 2. No more contact with AP. If he reaches out to you by email, text, Insta, carrier pigeon, run into him at the store, no contact. She cut in to say she would do whatever it takes to prove she's not in contact with him anymore. My second boundary is that the emotional abuse needs to stop. No more saying you want to work on things, then at the first conversation that mentions any mistakes you've made, say this isn't working, we're getting divorced, and chastise me for having emotions. At the mention of the second boundary, she said, well, this just isn't going to work then. Immediately stopped crying, got out of my truck and into her car. It's a freakish thing seeing someone that started out a conversation on their knees begging you while sobbing to not submit the divorce paperwork so suddenly stop crying and go full stone face. Long story short, I went into the courthouse, filed the paperwork, a few missing signatures led to me calling her to come back, and after everything was properly filled out, a paperwork has been filed. So, now begins the 91-day wait period. I'm disappointed, because again, I was hoping that she genuinely wanted to work on the marriage and this was the rock bottom, Hail Mary, final play of the game thing that made her come to her senses. It wasn't. In closing, today is a numb day, but on the off chance that homeboy reads this, or more so just to get it off my chest. Edit, there's a number of you that have felt compelled to call out my intentions here. There are, unfortunately, even more of you that have felt compelled to send quite a number of private messages, beta cuck, spineless pussy, etc. This last year has been hard. We had a miscarriage, shortly after got pregnant and had a new baby, close personal death on both sides of the family. I understand a number of you won't agree with how long I hung in there trying to work on the marriage. My intro into being a BS was my wife telling me, I've been dissociating from reality. I'm scared. I need help. I've been having an affair. Yesterday it became physical and I had a panic attack. I need help. My worldview up until this point on mental health has been very limited. Previously, I've believed depression in the clinical sense to be a myth. Anxiety is for people that can't handle real life. I believed it all to be a fabrication, really. So suddenly I'm submerged into this world of therapy, trying to understand mental health, break down my former incorrect assumptions. I know now that my wife is in control of her decisions regardless of whatever potential condition she suffers from. I know that despite my best efforts to love and take care of my family through her mental health crisis, that she is not beyond taking accountability for her actions. My wife does this intentionally. This has been a twofold learning curve. Hate on me all you want, but I've been doing the best I can. One of my greater fears in the beginning was that I would end my marriage and leave my spouse in the middle of a mental health crisis, needing help and support. But regardless of whatever potential condition she may or may not suffer, she is aware of her actions and is capable of holding herself accountable. Now that I've gotten a good education in things previously unknown, I am taking the appropriate course of action. Divorce papers have been filed. Update. Why do they act surprised you don't want to be friends after the divorce? Like, you spend a year trying to work on your marriage while they keep cheating. Divorce is 84 days from being final. SDBX is surprised I don't want to have family outings and hang out all together with the kids because you're the one that wanted to work on things. Is it just that they don't accept any responsibility for what they've done, so it just doesn't process as to why you'd say you have no intention of being BFFs forever when all is said and done? I'm so sick of her telling me she loves me. Actions speak louder than words. I love you, that's why I behave the way I have. You don't love me, that's why you behave the way you have. Update, 60 days till divorce is final. Update part trace. So, my wife at her court date this week. The jury found her guilty of assault and battery along with harassment. She has to attend anger management and therapy for a year and is on probation. They kept her out of jail because she's pregnant. She's been very adamant over the last couple weeks about going to marriage counseling. She set up an appointment, but outside of that has made very little effort. As far as the other things she knows are boundaries, social media, Xbox account, deleting any accounts that he knows to message. My theory is, after homeboy got released from jail, he told her he was going to work on his own family and broke it off with her for now. This left her without her AP, stuck at her mom's. Might as well try to see if my husband will take me back. I do not believe a word she says. I am certain that I'm second or third choice for her, only pursuing marriage counseling because he broke it off with her. If she really wanted to work on stuff, it'd be by Instagram, FB, email account she was messaging him on, etc. She's a lot of talk without any action. In other news, it's 60 days till the divorce is finalized. She asked if she could see me on her birthday. Went so far as to claim she had allowed me to see her on her birthday. I remember her birthday well. She came over, yelled at me for half an hour, told me if I didn't stop being emotional she'd start hitting me in the ducking face. Again, I am a giant sap because I wish she was legit and having a full turnaround and wanting to work on our marriage. But, again, it's all talk without any actual work. Update, oral seem worse to anyone. The details of affairs are hard. Oral as time seems so much harder to deal with emotionally. Is that the case for anyone else? Is it because it can be more intimate? All the beans have been spilled it seems, and for some reason the revelation of OL, which was assumed but never outright stated, just wrecked me like D-Day all over. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, yeah, OL, all worse, especially when D need to you. Fortunately I didn't get to those details of the time she was having. I hope I never do if I get cheated on again. But it would make me feel much worse if she did something for them that she didn't do to me. Or even if she did it also with me, if she went out of her way to please them, like giving someone OL, which is more for the other person than for themselves, really. I understand how you feel. Did you forgive her? You're still together? How did you know about the OL part just now? Op answer, 60 days till divorce. Wife is asking for marriage counseling. Spent 10 months trying to work on things and only now has she come around. Semi-open line of communication with me, asking to know everything I don't know, gauging whether or not she actually is sincere about wanting to work on things. Redditor 2, it takes a foul person to go down in their AP and come home and kiss their partner. Redditor 3, every time I kiss you I'm gonna taste 36 other guys. Clerks has a great scene about this topic. Personally, I think it comes down to is if she did something with someone else that she refused or seldomly did with me. So if OL were a birthday and special occasion activity, I'd be hurt she did it with anyone else. Of any act, a CEMP for sure would be the one that would hurt me the most. To let someone else go be reback and finish inside would make me ill. To me, that's the ultimate show of intimacy with your partner, as well as what should be a major sign of trust regarding the risks involved. Not to mention the fact that now having to get tested because of this or really any kind of activity. Redditor follow-up, try not to suck any more DCK on your way out to the car. 32 DCKS. In a row?